Well, this is a surprise. I had expected to be recording a video entitled Striking at the Root of Tyranny with my friend Phil. However, he had a situation come up and he's asked me to postpone it till tomorrow, and tomorrow I have a resto scheduled. So I'm left today with having to produce a video, and I'm glad that I am because it's serendipitous. The title is a question. Why are the Jews so hated? Since I was a child, not even 10 years old, I have had a relationship with Creator. I do not speak of the demonic imposters whom we have called God. That God builds walls. The true Creator builds bridges. At least that is how I see it. Today I want to touch on a question asked by one of my longtime friends from Israel who asked me to clarify my stance in relation to Jews. Having just come from the local synagogue in which the scheduled speaker was ill and unable to be there, the rabbi chose to show a video instead of giving a sermon. I'm glad he did and thrilled that I was there to hear it for myself. It provided me with an excellent perspective to help me answer this question. I hold this truth to be self-evident. Those who love know Creator. Those who hate are clueless. Indeed, I wasn't going to go to the synagogue today. This is actually my third visit to the synagogue, and it is a Messianic synagogue, which means they are Jews who believe that Jesus was the Messiah. And the synagogue is open to people of all faiths, and there are Jews and non-Jews alike, including people that are Negro and Asian, that is, they're obviously from China or some Asiatic country. They have you can tell by looking at them. And there's, of course, people that look Jewish and people that don't look Jewish, that are Jewish anyway, and Christians and all sorts of, it's a melting pot. I was really, really thrilled to have this professor of religion who gave the lecture of the video that we watched. And I wish I had written down his name. I didn't. Oh, I should know. It's Reagan. Yeah. Dr. Reagan, not Ronald Reagan, the ex-president of the United States, though it is spelled the same. And he's an older gentleman and speaks with tremendous wisdom. But he went through the history from the beginning of Christianity and also Islam, and told how in the beginning of Islam, Muhammad honored the Jews and the Christians as people of the book. Now, I know that that's true, and that's what I remember. But he went on because of things that happened later in life, and he recanted that position and took a more militant position that the extremist Muslims use that, and the moderate Muslims, like I would be if I was a Muslim, would use the ones that are peaceful. And I would throw away all the BS that came at the latter part of Muhammad's life and say he was talking out of his asshole at that time, and he didn't know what he was talking about. When he was first starting, he seemed to have a connection with a loving Creator. He seemed to throw that away as he got older and as the Quran developed. Now, I'm not a student of the Quran, never have been. I am a student of love. I want to love people regardless of their religion, regardless of their nationality, regardless of their race, regardless of all the things that we have used to divide ourselves and to fight each other and bring things together. Now, he went on to, he started with Islam, but he went back to Christianity and showed how our early church fathers from the 2nd century began to lambaste the Jews and call them Jesus killers and Christ killers and all sorts of other things, and anti-Semitism was born early on. Now, this again comes not from the Creator, but from the God who creates walls and who thrives on strife and discord and thrives on people hating each other instead of loving each other. That's not a God that I want anything to do with, and it's not really God. It's not really the Creator. At least I surely hope it's not. But this professor really, really nailed it as he said that God would, at the end of time, make the Jews an honored people, and Jerusalem would be like everything. Jerusalem would be like the capital of the world. Now, that's not Zionists. I make a strong distinction between Zionists, which are militant Jews, or actually militant Khazarians, who say they are Jews, but they just chose Judaism to become Jews instead of the offer that was made to them, I guess, by the Tsar at the time, to either become Christian or Muslim. No, we're going to be Jews. And the Khazarians were a very belligerent, warmongering people. And they're the ones that have spread this warmongering ideology all over the world, including in the modern day nation of Israel. It's why the Zionists cannot get along with the Arabs and the Muslims and the people of other faiths. And yet there is freedom in Israel to even let Muslims vote, etc., and hold public office. I didn't know that, but that was part of the video, and I should have known it. But if I had been told previously, it did not stay stuck in my mind so that I would remember it. In any case, I want to emphasize again what I have been emphasizing from the beginning of making these videos. By this shall all men know that you are my disciples, if you love one another. And if you only love those that love you, you're just like everybody else in the world. All the unbelievers do that too. They like people that they can get along with and are on the same page as them. They don't like people that have a different ideology or a different point of view. That's where the rubber hits the road. Are you able to love those that are different? Are you able to love those that have an experience and a belief that is foreign to you? That's how you'll know if you are God's children, if you are the children of God really, or if you are part of the evil cabal that is sowing dissension and thrives on dissension all over the planet. It's been doing that for all of our lifetimes. All of our lifetimes. The Jews are hated because the evil gods, the wicked gods, the pretend would-be gods, hate the real God. And they hate the fact that God made a choice to choose the Jews to bless the entire world through the Jews in a way that was probably unlike what he did with the Hindus or the Buddhists or anybody that came before or after. God chose the Jews to be a blessing to the earth. And therefore, they are hated by the God of this world, who often pose as the very ones that they, there's a lot of deception is what I'm saying. And we need to understand that the deceiver has been at work in our entire lives, pulling the wool over our eyes and getting us to stop loving or to not love at all. That's where the rubber hits the road. That's what makes a Christian, a Jew, a Muslim, a Hindu, what's the other one? Christian. There are 5 major religions, but it's what makes makes it reality. Anyway, I see that my time is up, and so thank you for listening and for considering what I'm saying, and I'll probably touch on this subject again in the future. Thank you. Bye-bye.